Welcome back. There were many great things to see and do at the record-breaking Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show in Nashville. Cattlemen to Cattlemen reporter Russell Nemitz joins us with a recap of one of those can't-miss events.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. And you know, one of the highlights at the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show every year is the CattleFax Market Outlook Seminar. And with us today is one of their leading market analysts, Kevin Good. And I know it's hard to summarize a 2-hour presentation in 3 or 4 minutes, but really for all sectors of the beef cattle industry, Kevin, what does 2017 look like and maybe look like beyond?
Well, I think guarded optimism would be a way to start out, but also some challenges as we think about where we're at within the cattle cycle in particular. You know, we've had tremendous profitability at cow-calf level for the last 3 to 4 years, and with that and improved moisture conditions, you know, we're in the midst of some very rapid expansion. We've expanded the beef cow herd by over 2 million head the last 3 years, and with that, now we've got bigger calf crops and bigger production to deal with. With not only bigger beef production, we've also got bigger beef, pork, and poultry production, and that amounts to enough product that prices have deteriorated over the last year and a half. That's the news that's a little bit hard to swallow, but the good news is that we're starting to see exports pick up, and that prices appear to have leveled out here, at least for the intermediate term as we go through 2017, and at a level that most folks in the cattle production system can make a profit at.
You know, as we look at 2017 and beyond, I mean, certainly we're kind of in some unstable and challenging situation and waters versus what we've been used to for the past 5 to 7 years. One of the key messages that I heard is it's going to be absolutely critical for these different producers at the different levels of the industry to manage their risk.
Well, that's no doubt. You know, we think about the kind of volatility we've experienced the last couple of years, and frankly, for the margin operators, we're talking about feedlots and stocker operators, have had 2 tough years back to back. So despite the fact the cow-calf side is pretty flush as far as profits, those segments, the margin operators are in the midst here of getting some of that losses back as we look at 2017. And you know, risk management is going to be key because a lot of those folks really can't afford to have another tough year.
You know, a big part of the audience that we serve is obviously the cow-calf sector, and you guys also mentioned that in order for the cow-calf sector to even have a chance at being profitable, we have to have stability at the feedlot sector as well.
Well, that's true. You know, the guys above you in the chain have to make a little money once in a while too, so they can pass it on down to you. And in reality here, there's a couple factors. You know, profitability we do think will improve in 2017 for the feedlots. That's positive. But on the flip side of that, we still have some pretty big discounts in the deferred live cattle futures, which in a lot of cases are going to drive those feeder cattle and calf values as well. But we are guardedly optimistic that 2017 calf values can average on a 5-weight steer, U.S. average about $1.50 a pound. And if that's the case for most producers, that is at a profitable level.
Last question, then I'll let you go. What about for consumers at the meat case, and when we talk about the price of beef in comparison to those other proteins? I mean, it's probably never going to be where pork and chicken is at, but after all, it is the lobster tail of the meat case.
Well, let's hope we never are down on those levels, because in reality, it does cost more to produce beef versus pork and poultry, and if we want to do it at a profitable level, we need to continue to command a premium at retail. You know, that said, we also recognize that retail prices, they lag when we go up and they lag when we come down. So because we've had a big drop in fed and wholesale prices here over the last 18 months, retail prices did come down 5% in 2016. They're probably poised for another 5 to 10% drop in 2017. In fact, we think we'll continue to see more featuring of beef like we did this past year to get more of those consumers coming in the front door. Beef sells, and the retailer recognizes that, so we still are the king as far as the ad space at retail.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you as always joining us here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
All right, there you go, Kevin. Some very insightful information, and as always, some very useful advice for cattlemen and cattlewomen nationwide from our friends at CattleFax.